I think we're going to end soon, inshallah. But I
Yeah.
want to talk about one aspect in terms of belief. I think like a lot of Muslims, young Muslims, I know we often complain a lot. So we have, and the older generations like, oh, you have everything at your disposal, education, but they don't understand the kind of pains that we feel, the overflow of information, the peer pressure, the financial situations that we're in, all these aspects are being enforced and pressurizing us, and so we kind of lose our sense of belief because we lose our sense, our true self. We don't really nurture it. We're too busy focused on how we are perceived by other people and how we'll be perceived if we do X, Y, Z business choice, stuff like that. So these all bog us down to then take mediocrity as our sort of outcome. But what advice would you give to make sure that we can get that belief and not to have that self-doubt, to make the best decisions, not just in entrepreneurship, but just making sure that we become the best we can be?
Yeah. So I think that imagine if there was a course that was being sold out there which said, come to this course and we will make you great.
Okay.
There will be people that will go to that course. Let's say someone like Tony Robbins, right? Tony Robbins, very famous. He'll say, come to my course and I'll make you great. You'll be better than when you came here.
Yeah.
There's millions of people around the world who have been impacted by Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
And they've actually done that, right? What if you had a course from Allah that made you amazing, right? And if you look at it, Islam is exactly that. That's what Islam is, right? It's about taking the people who were the lowest of the low, the Arabs, who no one wanted to conquer, and making them one of the greatest people ever that lived. It's about taking individuals who are burying their daughters alive to become the best of all humanity.
Subhanallah.
Right? So Islam, this is why Muslim mastery is so important to me, because I feel like Islam has all the answers for us to be the greatest people that ever lived.
To master the spiritual aspect, to master the belief.
Every part of it, whether it's business, whether it's communication, family, whatever it is, like every part of it is within Islam. Like this is what I'm saying, that what should happen is that you should fall in love with Islam. Like literally every part of it. So for example, I should know that anything that Allah's made halal for me is actually like amazing. And I'm so lucky that this is halal. And anything that's haram for me is amazing because it's gonna help me in another way. It's like this whole thing, the morning miracle. There's a book called The Morning Miracle. Billionaires, they all wake up early in the morning. Like we have Fajr, we can wake up. All the things. Like if someone just followed Islam like it should be followed, and I'm talking about the base level of following it, they will be great. Right? And so you need to realize that as Muslims, you have exactly what you need to be at that level.
SubhanAllah, you know when you mentioned that, I was teaching a class yesterday, and in this hadith I was reading, I had the explanation. The hadith is خيركم من تعلم القرآن وعلمه. The best of you are those who learn the Quran and teach it. And the commentary on that was from the Shaykh was saying that people saying the best of you, what that means is not just the best of you in akhirah, the best of you in dunya. You'll be leaders. He mentioned you'll be the best of people who learn the Quran and internalize it, act upon it. Acting as well. You may know a little bit of Quran, but you act upon that. Like you just said over this, it will make you a leader. It will make you achieve great things. Because this is the kalam of Allah. And that is the best curriculum, isn't it? Especially at the start of learning. So like, I mean, that's...
So I want to give you some, because a lot of the stuff we've talked about is like abstract and it's that kind of thing. And I think it's important to do that because sometimes you trip over the truth, right? And you realize things. But it's all about practicalities as well. So I want to share some very quick things with you that someone can actually take away and use that to benefit themselves, right? So the first thing I would say is that, there's a massive thing out there, which is like, you are what you eat. So you eat healthy food, you're going to be healthy, right? And I think what we don't do enough of is think about our mindset. Because the truth is, you are what you consume, right? Okay, so check this out now. So what happens is that most people, when they wake up, what's the first thing they will do?
Check the phone.
Check the phones. Very good. They check their phones, right? This is the default. I'm not going to ask you if you guys do it or not, right?
Today I didn't do it because I watched a video and I told
Okay, good. So this is the default of what we do, right? Now, what happens normally is sometimes you're there and you've woken up and you'll see an email from someone giving you bad news. Or you'll see a message from someone that's rude. So what's happening is the second you wake up in the morning, you're being controlled by some negative force there, right? So the first thing I would say, and this is something I started a few years ago, is that I said to myself, you know what? I will not start with my phone. I will not start with my phone. Because the whole thing around doubts and negativity, whatever you put in here, That's what it's going to be. So if you're having doubts and you're having this and that, it's because you're not putting the right stuff in, right? So with phones, what I've made a rule for myself now is that I do not look at my phone until I've put Quran in my head or Fajr in my head or wudu in my head. I have a process that these are the things I must do before I'm allowed to look at my phone. My brain knows that now. There's no more nafs in it. It's done.
Rewired your brain.
Rewired. The only exception is if I know I've got a very busy day, I'll open my calendar app just to see if I've got any early morning meetings and stuff, especially as Fajr is getting later and stuff. Other than that, I know I'm not checking my phone at all.